Stig is here, the game director for Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order. I got to say, Stig, I got to check this out yesterday with you, and I got to play it. This is so phenomenal. I've been such a big fan of Stig for a long time. He made God of War 3, and we've missed you because that game was...
It's been a while.
Was it like a decade ago? Or
just about 9 years ago.
9 years ago. And I got to say, I mean, last year's God of War was amazing, but God of War 3 was such a special place in my heart, what Stig did with that game, and I've been waiting for the next game from Stig. And you partnered up with Vince and the guys at Respawn to work on this new Star Wars game, and I got to say, you know, people saw the gameplay yesterday. We're going to talk about it here. You did a really amazing job with it. Just feels right to me. I've been a long-time fan of Star Wars games, you know, Jedi Knight, Dark Forces, all those classics. What you're doing here, tell us a bit about it. I don't mean to pitch your game for you, but I had so much fun yesterday.
Yeah, well, it's a third-person action-adventure game where you play as a Jedi, hence the name. And actually, he starts as a Padawan early in the game. During Order 66, it's the moment that happens in Episode 3, where all the Jedis are basically massacred. And the few that are remaining are hunted down. And so Cal, after Order 66, he actually escapes, and he goes into hiding for years. And then an event happens in the game that forces him to expose himself, and then he finds himself on the run. So he has to, on the run, he has this, he partners up with this former Jedi who has this idea to, it's kind of a long shot, to restart the Jedi Order.
Wow.
And he doesn't really trust her, but what he does want to do is complete his training, because that's going to help him survive.
No, I got to say, it looks incredible. Unreal Engine, like, just amazing visuals, and the gameplay is also incredible. I got to go on the sticks and play some of this, and it's a intense combat-driven game. I know in some of the interviews you've been talking about how it's got elements of Metroid and sort of some backtracking and whatnot. Tell us a bit about your vision. It's not just a straight linear playthrough.
No, it's not. Our main pillars are thoughtful combat, one, and that's happening with lightsabers and force powers. And then we have agile exploration, which is basically beyond human exploration. Once again, works with the force. But the last one that's really important is our Metroidvania design, which means the player actually has access to several planets in the game and can jump to them at free will, and is only limited by powers. So you might find a power or a pickup on one planet that opens up something on the other planet. And on that planet, you might find another one that opens something up on the planet you were just at. And it all kind of spirals from there. So the players have a lot of choice.
And a lot of interesting gameplay moments. You showed me even yesterday when we were playing through some of the demo. I mean, there's playable sequences where you saw that trailer at Xbox or yesterday, and you're like, oh, are you really playing that? And it's like, no, you actually are, right?
Yeah, hands on sticks pretty much the whole time, unless we're watching like a cutscene or something.
Yeah, no, and incredible acting and, you know, dialogue options and dialogue choices. It's a rich, deep game. And I played through some combat trials where I kind of got my ass kicked because it's
okay.
It's okay, but it's intense. I mean, it's also, you've got the force powers, you've got really deep combat, and I mean, it's got a little bit of that.
There's a lot of things you're tracking.
Kind of feel of like it's, you know, Dark Souls, like it's very, you know, it's extremely fair, but very challenging.
Yeah, there's a lot of things you're tracking. We threw you into something that was really hard. It was probably wasn't fair.
No, but it's one of those ones where I love, though, it's like, you know, it's where it's a challenge, but you know why you screwed up, right? And you're just like, oh, I got to get better at this. And especially when you're managing the force powers, Z targeting, and then the lightsaber, it's like, I can see, though, you know, and you guys I know you tested at the office, and it's like, if you really put the time in, you're going to learn the systems and the structure to kind of really feel badass.
And it's rewarding at that point.
Yeah, no, it's amazing. I got to say, like, the combat was great, the traversal looks great, and it's coming out this year, right? November?
Yep, November 15th.
November.